There you go. I see you, Ron.
Yeah.
Hey Ron, good morning. There's no sound yet.
I was on mute. I'll start it when I get the meeting going.
Okay, thank you.
And state is America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Four-way test, something that we should strive to uphold and live by. Let's emphasize the words in the bold text here. The four-way test of the things we think, say, or do first.
Is it the truth?
Second.
They're all concerned.
Third.
Will and better friendships.
Fourth.
Beneficial to all concerned.
Fifth.
Is it fun?
All right, sixth.
Bacon.
Bacon,
Yeah,
our corn.
we got like 10 minutes. Just keep on going. All right. Eileen,
Yeah.
lead us off with something inspirational.
So today's quote is,
I'll call you.
Community is much more than belonging to something. Hear you.
Hold it.
Listen up.
I need to throw this table out.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Let me ask, was what you're saying the truth? It's the truth. Was it fair?
We're strategizing for the raffle later.
So we're gonna wait. Proceed, Eileen.
Thank you. Community is much more than belonging to something. It is about doing something together that makes belonging matter.
Thank you. Do we have any visitors?
One.
Jordan's here for.
Oh, Jordan,
So don't be.
you're old hat. You're just like, you're just part of the club anyway, so I don't see our speaker either, so, hopefully the.
I just got a text from our speaker and her son woke up really sick. So she's not gonna be able to make it.
So Kendra is our speaker. All right.
Oh, God.
Put 10 minutes then.
I don't think anyone wants that.
All right. Yeah. We might have Paul step up and do something for us. All right, some birthdays, on the 28th is Kevin O'Brien's birthday. KOB, Kevin O'Brien. He's actually in Spokane. He's working right now, so. Anniversaries, Steve, Carmody and Erica, 2 years. So, no Rotary anniversaries, so. Announcements, again, get your donations in to Eileen, get our sponsorships in. Do we have any, Lori, do we have any?
Sponsorships this week.
Nice.
Sponsorship. Who are they for?
He's making coffee. He's where he's supposed to be.
If our raffle is getting full,
Nice.
get going on that.
All right, and then gift baskets, I think I saw someone offered up for $100, they'll make gift baskets.
Or more, Tracy
Yeah.
said, or more.
Minimum of 100.
Is that your fee or is that
Huh?
your fee to do it and then it's another $100
No, I get the fun of shopping.
Yeah.
So, $100
I
goes
see.
into the basket. Look I've got 3 options. We've got a pet basket I can put together, a garden basket. I've got an anti-tech kid fun basket.
So string, 2 cans.
How about Harry Potter?
Harry Potter.
Board games, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
Ball and tag.
yeah.
Stick. There you go.
All right.
So
And then on another announcement, Sunday, November 3rd is the first annual Rotary Chili Cook-Off. At Rochelle's place out on the water, Marina down in Everett. So bring your best chili recipes and
what are the prizes?
I'm not sure.
There's 22
Yeah.
that are signed up so far.
Oh, there's-
And she's sent out an email asking you to sign up.
Okay, that's. Guess I don't read that far.
It's the Sawyer Building. Well, she just sent it to me.
Yeah, I meant chili.
Sawyer Building, not the Canopy Room. So you can look down the email and get directions there.
And Seahawks game, so I think it's like 1 to 4 down
1 to
there,
4.
so watch Seahawks playing the Rams, so. All right. Yeah, let's see, no more announcements. Reports, let's do some reports real quick and we'll. Lori.
So, our finances are looking okay, so we're doing all right. Those sponsorships still coming in, so that really helps a lot. And, I think that's all I got to say about that.
All right, Gary.
Board meeting on November 13th at Sherwood. This is a day late, but yesterday was World Polio Day. The purpose of yesterday's proclamation was to focus on Gaza with a request and agreement to put down their arms to immediately arrange for 2 vaccination campaigns to avoid further spread and to protect the children in the area.
Brian. Were you the bad cop last week?
I didn't need to be, but we got enough out, so. I didn't have the opportunity, man.
We had a plan. We were gonna do, I was gonna be the nice guy one week and he was gonna be the bad guy the next week and it didn't even get to do it.
No,
So, I told them,
yeah, that's great though.
Club services, Eileen.
So, we are slowly getting donation items in, so if you have not turned in your, donation items, please do so, because it just makes things, we still have to print bid sheets and all of that. And so we need a little lag time, so please don't wait till the 11th hour. It just makes it easier for everybody else who's working on the auction. Also, so I tallied up the seats that are allocated. So those who have bought tickets, thank you, and the sponsorships. So technically, we're at 136.
Wow.
Well, the problem is that all those seats are not actually filled because a lot of the sponsors don't come. So what I'm asking the club is if you have secured a sponsorship or if you have sponsored, please send me your guest list so I can allocate those seats.
Okay.
What I don't want to do is we don't want to oversell the event and then not have people show up. Right? Or we don't want to oversell and then not have a room for everybody, but we also don't want to cut it off and then not have everybody come. So please just let me know who's coming, if the sponsor's attending. If they're not, that's totally fine, but then we'll know, okay, we have that many more seats to come fill. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that's kind of the conundrum right now, and I don't have, yes, sir.
Where would you like us to bring our items if we have items?
The night of. You just send me your form and
Okay.
bring the items the night of. Thank you very much. And if you need a basket, Tracy is willing to put them together. Steve, are you willing to put?
Did I, the same show? I saw that last email.
So I actually have to reach out to him because he said that my understanding was they were gonna ship the wine here. They were gonna send 4 cases. Tom said they'd send 4 cases, which I thought was incredibly generous. But I haven't heard anything yet. So I'm like, okay, well, we're getting, it takes a little time to get those shipped to us. So I need to reach out to him on Monday and just be like, hey, touch your base.
CC me.
I can do that. Yes. We got the beer taken care of, right? So that's good.
Well, did you get your in?
Yeah, I'm supposed to go talk to him today.
Okay.
He said yes.
But you got like.
I've got the 2 kegs from the brewery.
Perfect.
Just hopefully you can get the doggy
Yeah.
box on them. Okay.
And then we're doing a walkthrough on 11/6 at 4 o'clock, if anybody wants to come.
Okay.
I will get at our next meeting, which is right before the event. I might send out an email, just letting everybody know, what time we're gonna set up, that kind of thing. We'll probably have one more Rotary auction meeting,
Okay.
but we met with, Gary and Christine and myself were on the call for First Financial, so good there. They're all set up, they're ready to go. I've ordered the equipment. We just need like proof of insurance to insure the venue. It's like a rider.
Yeah, it's a certificate.
Yeah, thank you. So
I can get that.
if you could get that to me.
Yeah.
And we already have the permit, so that was done a long time ago. So just, fill the seats. Please let me know who's coming so that we can, I don't mean to sound like a dead horse, beating a dead horse, but yeah, that helps us get everything finalized.
You need any high school labor to come and set up?
I think more the merrier.
I got 4 guys that are trying to get some out.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
have them come, have them come. I'll give you the time when I have to look at the contract and then I'll send an email.
and at the end too.
And clean up if they want to come back.
Well, we did pay the
Yeah.
extra $300 so that we don't have to mop or sweep or any of that shenanigans. And then Ruth needs to be in by 3.
Okay.
And I did verify she's been paid. The first installment, so we'll have to pay her the second installment that night along with Michelle. And Michelle Westford will be at the walkthrough, so you'll get a chance to meet her.
Oh, awesome.
And I don't have KOB's number.
Oh.
Can you see if he can make the walkthrough? Because
Yeah.
I'd really like to connect him with Michelle, just so they can talk before the event.
And that's the 6th again or?
Yeah, the 6th at 4 o'clock at Carlton Farms.
Okay.
And Raquel is working on the centerpieces, and I believe Rochelle's working on how we're going to acknowledge the veterans, because we are gonna do a veterans acknowledgement the night
Nice.
of, because it's like right before Veterans Day. And I think that's all I have, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so long-winded.
Eileen?
Hey, Eileen, I have a question.
Linda,
Yes,
Excuse me, do you have those plastic wraps for the baskets? Will they be down there or should we get our own?
I have some, I can help with that.
I mean, if you want to,
Tracy.
you don't necessarily need to. I find that sometimes when you wrap them, it's hard to see what all's inside.
Oh, okay,
But that is up to you guys. If you wanna wrap them, you do you.
mystery basket.
okay.
And one more thing.
I dare you, Ron, do one. Do it.
Just paper.
I did have lunch with Joyce yesterday,
Oh.
and so we had a nice hour and a half. I was hoping to see her today.
Yeah, she wasn't feeling well.
Okay, she's got some serious health issues that really, there's not a whole lot they can do. So, we had a really nice lunch and it was a great conversation and, if you have time to just stop by for 5 minutes, call ahead of time because she does have appointments. I think it just does her soul good. So.
Where is she now, Eileen?
At home, she's at home, she is at home, and she does have a 24-hour caregiver. That's why it's good to call, because she takes her to different appointments, and it took me a week and a half to book my lunch with her, because she's so busy. But, it was really lovely, and, so if you have time, it doesn't take a lot, and she's very appreciative. And then the last thing is, if anybody has any cards, or anybody who knows anybody who needs a little love, and I did send a card to Kim Daughtry, so. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. Community services, Rochelle's on here. We announced the chili, had a conversation last night with Raquel, and her and Rochelle have been meeting. They're gonna start planning these events more, just get them going. I mean, that's half the battle. We don't ever, whoever can make it. So we'll probably see more of these chili feeds and fun things coming up. So, and Gary last night and myself, we were roped into going to the Aquafest board meeting. So,
What do you have to report on that?
they're moving forward.
Oh, they're gonna have another one?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah. So,
It's a little more positive. than
yeah, it was
has been in the
positive.
past,
Financially, not so positive, but
But not out of the realm.
yeah, no, so they got some, they have some options for carnivals, so hopefully they pan out. There might be some alterations due to that, but we'll see on that. And then we have Chris Jacobs is the president again. And Raquel and Jeff Pegram are VP number 1 and 2. So we have a quite big Rotary board contingent on that.
Yeah, Rotary
Aquafest
got
board.
mentioned several times.
Yeah, so I was really kind of questioning why they asked us to come, but then it's, what can you guys do? What can you guys do? And so they're wrangling us in to do all kinds of stuff, so. I think commit us.
25 Aquafest presented by the league.
Yeah, so we'll see more to come on that, so. They're starting earlier and there seems to be excitement and so we'll see.
I
Hopefully.
had a conversation with Herb at from the Kiwanis Club, and he was saying that they hope to do the beer gardens again. And I said, who are you gonna partner with? He said, oh, the brewery.
Yeah,
I didn't share with him what I've heard.
yeah,
Then he started getting in, he says, I think we ought to do a cornhole tournament. I said, no, you're not gonna do a cornhole tournament because we've already done one. When did you do it? I said, last Aquafest. Well, what day? I told him the day. He said, well, nobody told me. I said, Herb. So,
Should come out more often.
yeah, you gotta get out of your beer garden realm and
yeah, he wanted to do, he thought that they ought to be a tournament over by the beer garden. And I said, not under your control, that's ours, this, at this time.
Good job, Gary.
yeah,
Good job.
stand up,
It
Gary.
was kind of by the beer garden.
Yeah, right in front of the post office.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's, you know, They don't have the manpower though, let's face it.
We're gonna have a gang war against that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, Aquafest is moving forward
Listen, when,
and,
Sure.
hopefully
they were meeting after
It
our
goes
board meeting at the food bank. And, they would come about 45 minutes early. And I think half of it was because it took them that long to get up the stairs.
Yeah.
Because they're older than me. Yeah. Well, they're a little afraid to get into the lift.
all right, found Bob's not here. One thing back with Bob on Eileen is he collecting his little gifts for, cause he's making his,
So I have not heard from Bob. I actually needed to talk to him about the sounds, so. I needed to talk to him about the sound system, because I know he's getting sound stuff for the
Okay.
performer. But we need 2 wireless microphones, which he does not have access to, but
okay,
Michelle Westford's,
I think you
Well,
mentioned that one time.
or, however.
Yeah, I know, yeah, we'll talk.
Is Michelle West, yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk.
Cause I brought a gift, I
Got you
brought a
covered.
gift for that basket, so I thought he said he was collecting them, so.
I would assume that he is. I
Okay.
thought he had said that too, but I don't know where we're at. So like I said, we need to have one more meeting.
And so if everybody doesn't know, he's collecting a basket for like a door prize.
Well, what we're doing is we're doing like 20 small raffle items. So you buy a book. It's 6 to 8. No, it's more. He said it's more. But you buy a book of tickets for $20 and you get 25 tickets. And you put, it's like a choice raffle, so you put the items in the bucket that you want. And it's just a revenue enhancer is all it is. And so he had asked to get like small, like not super expensive items. So if you have something that's new, that's you haven't used, that's at your house. Let him
Got a
know.
bunch.
Yeah.
When your wife likes Amazon more than probably anybody in this room, that
I'm not
you
saying
get
that.
stuff that you don't use, so.
Oh. I'll give you stiff competition.
Yeah, international, Chris?
Yes, I was just gonna say, I was on my way down here in the radio, and there was this big art auction. I don't know if you heard this, but somebody took a, it's like 6-digit figures, took a piece of a brand new roll of duct tape and taped a banana on it and auctioned off for $1 million. It's like pretty crazy. I don't know if that was real or not.
Wow.
Is that real?
Is that what you're donating?
That's what I'm donating. Anyhow, a letter, we sent a thanks to Lorraine, $528 to IP Foundation. IPA. And every single dollar donated, it goes directly towards like wood burning stoves, build better latrines, showers, construction for classrooms, supplies at local school improvements, improve the water system for the villages. In addition to our adopted ring, where there's several people in Rotary that's donating $200 a year for a 3-year commitment. So I'm just saying thanks on behalf of IPA. So that was my report. They still have the $65,000 secret donation, I guess you call it, or I don't know where, but it's still weird. They've got a couple of projects they're gonna start working on, so it's been pretty fun. And Linda's my co-part, so Linda's
Nice.
still there.
Yeah,
I
Linda.
am, and I was on the meeting last night.
I don't know, yeah, go ahead.
And Marty said that she'd like to come back out and make a presentation if we wanted her to. So Kendra, you'd be looking for an email from her.
I did, same thing, I got her phone number and forwarded it off to Kendra a couple weeks ago, or days ago, whatever, so.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so Linda, I emailed her a few weeks ago and then didn't hear anything. So that's why I asked for if anyone had her phone number, because I was like, I'll give her a call.
Oh, okay. I'll shoot both of you her a message.
Yeah, Kendra, did you get her phone number? Kendra,
Kendra, did you get the phone number from Chris?
Yep, I got it. Thanks, Chris.
hey, thank you.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they're off to Copan today, actually. So I'm sure we'll be getting another report about what's going on here in a few weeks.
Yeah, it's a pretty detailed meeting, isn't
Yes, it is. Lots to do with, and you get $65,000 given to you.
it? Yeah. So did you call in or Zoom in, or how'd you get in?
I zoomed in.
Okay, I tried to get in or couldn't get into, so I texted Peter about the situation, but never heard back.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's it. All right, membership, Kyle or Raquel are not here, but Paul, you wanna come up here?
Sure. Is this where you're gonna have me talk?
This is, no.
Oh,
We're gonna have you talk, we're gonna have you talk, we're done with this. I don't know.
Like you are.
We're just gonna make you actually
Oh.
official now.
Oh, look at
so-
this.
so,
I didn't know this was happening.
Yeah, so here's your certificate for the club. Now you have a badge, you can't get fined for that.
Nice.
You got your Rotary pen, Rotary coin, this is a Rotary basic, so let's learn all the basics about Rotary, but.
Nice. Well, thank you, sir.
Welcome, and we'll pull that up.
Oh, hang on, let's
Yeah, let's do it properly, guys.
get the,
Get that.
that one, that one.
We've been waiting a while to give you that, but.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Vocational, Kristen and Lance aren't here. Programs, Kendra, you got any updates?
No updates. We got I mean, no, nothing new. It's on the calendar. And although obviously now I'll be calling Marty, so she'll get on the calendar too.
Okay, thank you. All right, public image, welcome back, Rand. I've been living vicariously through your Facebook pictures of your wonderful trip, so.
So what I've noticed over the last couple of weeks is we've got a lot of grant applications coming in. So for those of you who are on that chain, it's surprising.
Yeah, I know we got the one yesterday, they couldn't get, like, she couldn't download it on her system, so she sent it to us by email. So I think, I don't know if you got that,
I haven't seen it.
okay,
We got the one from the interfaith group.
Yeah, that was
we
it.
gave to them, previously. But he's in the Marysville Club, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's really in Everett, it goes over to Everett, so.
yeah, I was
And
reading that,
that was for $2,500, and I think he did the same thing the last time.
okay.
And I think we only gave him $1,000 the previous time.
Are we sending out any kind of acknowledgement to people who submitted?
The only acknowledgement they get right now is when they submit the form, there's a screen that comes up and says, we got it. Thank you, we'll consider it.
I'll get on that this weekend.
Okay, and I'll forward the one that we got by email to you, if that's the interview, I think that was the interview.
I've got the, you know.
Okay,
In
yeah.
fact, I printed it off.
Yeah.
If somebody wants it.
You want to just forward it to me, or I'll take the paper, whatever works.
Start collecting those and. Alrighty, anything else?
No, we'll have a public image committee meeting next month.
Okay,
So everybody's welcome to join in.
okay.
Yeah, I did.
No more meetings of just Rand?
A lot of things get done that way.
It's actually a comedy of errors because the times that I show up, nobody else does.
Yeah.
And then the time that I don't show up, everybody else does.
It does make it easy.
One of those
All in
things.
favor, say aye, aye.
Chelsea comes back down to here, it's like, do you think he's there? No. he's not there.
Well, we had a great conversation with ourselves.
Yeah.
Really.
All right. Well, thank you and welcome back.
Thanks.
James, we're starting your arms. Let's do a raffle and our.
Everybody's got their raffle ticket? Wants to pile on to you, Madam Treasurer? I'll have our, state election officer, handle it. Oh,
This will be non-controversial.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, they just dropped it on the table and put it back in.
Okay, I was back.
I think. Had to put it back. This is how we're like, 914, I can't read that.
No, that's not it.
I voted for it.
Not the right one.
Oh.
914 is the writing number.
Oh, what do you know?
The controversy.
That's right.
Wow.
Wait till this hits the news.
Now we know how the elections work in the state of Washington.
I'm gonna take this one out.
I hope it gets it too.
There's the content. Thank you very much.
That was so successful, though. That was a good one.
Hey, Steve, there will be an audit.
Yeah.
That's okay, I know the state auditor, so.
Yeah.
The hand down.
They're more than that.
Oh, I know.
All right, who does not have their badge on this morning?
Am I the only one?
You're the new guy. And he's better run on. He's better run on. No. Steve doesn't have to. Oh, dang it. He does.
He's hiding it.
Maybe I should collect from the folks that aren't here. They could be wearing theirs. All right, good morning, everybody online. Dan, are you happy this morning? He's trying to find his mute button. There we go.
Yes, yes, I'm very happy this morning. We're going to be doing a cider press with our apples this Saturday. And so we'll have lots of juice and I can make some good hard cider that I might share with those interested in having some once it's done.
Sounds like a donation to the auction.
Consider it done.
All right, Linda.
Good morning again. I am super happy. I'm going to go to my first NFL game this Sunday. Seahawks. First ever in person. And then Monday I'm going to Hawaii until the day before the auction. So, and I've never been to Hawaii, so lots of firsts here.
Wow.
What can I say? Linda has her basket done.
Oh, yeah.
So
Nice.
kudos to you, Linda.
Oh, I was super stressed too. Thank you, Tracy and Eileen, for your help so much. I was stressed out about it, but anyway, yes, it's done. I'll see you guys there.
Well, bring back some warmth with you.
Yes, yes.
Kendra. Kendra, there she is.
What did you call my name?
Yes, we're doing Happy Bucks.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I'm like dishing out breakfast and stuff and then got in an argument with my 5-year-old about what she wanted to eat. Yeah, I'm happy, excited for like the Halloween week and all the festivities that go with that. So all good.
All right. Johanna, good morning.
Good morning. Happy Aloha Friday, everyone.
And Gina, are you still with us?
Good morning. Yep, still here. Happy just because it's Friday and the sunrise was beautiful this morning.
Are you back into the house?
No, I am currently doing this meeting safely in a car, but in a car driving to a different meeting that I have to go to.
All right, good deal. Well, thank you. Mr. President, are you happy?
Of course I'm happy. It's Friday. We got a big Husky game tomorrow. It's early. They're on college game day in Indiana, so I'll be up at 6 in the morning to start watching that, and the game starts at 9. So hopefully,
And you can take a nap after that.
yeah.
All right, good deal. Paul, are you happy?
I am. I'll have no naps on Saturday. We've got 7 a.m. guys group that gets together at my house. Then 8 a.m. we have a CPR class for Trail Life, which immediately stems into some friends coming from Blaine, Washington to stay for the afternoon. So it's going to be a busy Saturday, but looking forward to it.
All right, good deal. Anthony.
Morning. Just gonna put all of what I have in my pocket in there.
Okay.
Yeah, happy to be here. I've missed a couple weeks sporadically the last month or two, so happy to be back. Yeah, busy weekend too. I have football practice tonight for my kid and then 2 games tomorrow, so back-to-back games for 5 and 6-year-olds is a disaster.
Oh.
But it's pretty entertaining to watch. Coaching it sucks.
Yeah.
As long as they're having some fun.
They are, yeah.
It's Friday.
Thanks for all your work on that.
Oh, of course, my friend.
Well, our international European traveler.
Yes.
happy to be here and I'm happy for the friendship exchange that we did with the district, which went really well. There were 8 of us that went to Hungary, mostly Budapest. So if you guys ever want to hear a little more about that, I can share more about that trip with some pictures of past district governor, David Lukoff. And one of the things that we saw there, which I'll put a happy bucket, is potentially, if we're interested in for helping the international project, there was a young Rotarian who set up, a school for Ukrainian refugees and children, and very impressive. Started out like just helping a few of them, and now there's 400 students there, and they're doing a global grant. So if you're interested in contributing.
Was that the Hebron?
Hebron Academy or?
Doesn't sound.
Okay, because they were here the other couple of weeks ago, and that's what they do too, is.
They're in Budapest.
They're Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Okay, this is in Budapest, so they're refugees that have come to Hungary. And their fathers, or most of them are still fighting, and the mothers and the children are
Same-
there.
same, yeah.
Yeah, same principle, but different
Yeah.
location. Yeah.
I would love to hear that presentation. I hope we can get that booked. I think that'd be great. Well, I followed your pictures, it looked like a great
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, I only mostly posted in my story. I haven't made posts to post, but it was a great trip and learned a lot, and the people were very welcoming. You know, they, interestingly enough, do we have just like 2 or 3 minutes, because we don't have. So, I didn't know that much about Hungary, and I didn't do that much. I usually do a lot of like diving into, research beforehand, but I did it this time. And, they were part of the golden age of the Austria-Hungary, empire in the past. And had the second like subway system built in Europe after London. But then of course, after World War II came under communist rule. So a lot of the Rotary clubs that are going to be celebrating their 100th anniversary in next year in 2025. But they've had like a 47-year interruption under the communist regime. All of that was disbanded. So I thought was really, one of the really fascinating things to see them kind of getting back up and going. Hungary's about half the size of Washington State, has about 10 million people. We've got about 8 million, just to give you the context of the size, but a fabulous public transportation system. I mean, we would love to have that, here. So we were mostly housed in Budapest, and then we'd take the trains out. Clubs are struggling, like, to get younger members, involved. They have about 50 plus clubs, but about 1,200 members. And one of the first clubs that we visited was the only club. So that was kind of like, come on. Time. So might help your growth if you had them, come in. But just had a lovely welcoming reception. And I think it was the first friendship exchange that they ever had in that district, or if they had something done in the past, they, lost the knowledge, of that. But some really interesting meetings. One, we were invited to a club that has a lot of like past ambassadors, like the ambassador to Peru for Hungary, and met the grandson of the Rotarian who started the youth friendship exchange program, and heard that whole history. So it was really very, very fascinating.
Nice.
So thanks for letting me share.
Yeah, absolutely.
Friday, I am headed out to Vegas for a concert this weekend and some good people watching.
Who you seeing?
Foreigner.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. In the dome, in the.
No, at Venetian.
Venetian.
I don't like to go to big concerts.
Okay.
Too hostile.
Hot-blooded.
So a fine for.
I knew myself in my rudeness, and then my happy butt stems from Christine and watching her little feet and shoes dangle in the chairs. Yeah, makes me happy. She's got great shoes.
Are you helping out with the city today? Do some flagging or some,
I wear this to make myself feel like I'm gonna have shovelers. Oh.
Lori.
All right, well, real happy today. My sister's coming into town, I think either Sunday or Monday. They're driving up in their Tesla, so Dad will be very excited about that. So, they'll be with us for about a week, and so looking forward to that.
Fun.
Happy Dollar, it's Friday. I've got another dentist starting with me in my practice because I can't keep up
Nice.
I'm excited. I no, please don't. Happy Dollar, I'm gonna go, so Dave's at his mom's house, she had a knee replacement. And he went to pick her up the day, she stayed the night, and he got there about 9 o'clock, and 9:26, he texts me, she's driving me nuts. She's a little controlling, so I get to go and help. Yeah. Really want to ask him. Yeah, that's all.
Steve? Yes, it's 11 days, 11 hours, 53 minutes, and stuff for the elections. Yeah, and the major pain actually happened after it. I wasn't here last week, but last week, my dentist said I had great teeth. Right. See. What do you ask me? I mean, back me up. And then, final dollar here, I scored great on the Army combat fitness test, which I needed to do, so, yeah.
Still going at it.
They're sending you to the front line? No, it just means I get to stay. Oh.
Do they adjust those fitness tests like for age or?
Oh,
basically the same?
yeah, better. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, Steve and I are not doing 17 to 24 age.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
You might think you want to.
But I did meet a couple of young guys.
Let's set the example. All right,
Hi.
fine dollar
Thank
for
you.
the
Yes,
chatter
sorry,
earlier.
being
You're happy?
I'm good. Yes, happy tonight, the YMCA Future Leaders Bash. So it's basically YMCA, Snohomish County, Big Brother, Big Sisters, gala. And it's gonna be a really fun night, bringing the county together and raising money for our future leaders.
Secretary.
Had a really nice trip over to a little town called Coopville. Sherwood had their Island County Business Luncheon the other day. And it's a nice drive, and I actually met one of the Rotarians from the Oak Harbor Club that has been a Rotarian for 46 years at that club. He and I think he was secretary at once, because we both talked about the pains of being a secretary.
Yeah.
And we had a good time. You're elected and I'm not, you gotta think about that.
Yeah, you were elected.
Yeah, but it was a fun day. I had a great turnout. Sherwood got lots of compliments from the businesses in Island County, and on the branch out to make sure that we're as visible there as we are in Lake Stevens. And then we had a good meeting yesterday. Tracy's gonna run the December meeting, because I'm gonna be in Hawaii, so biggest summer meeting.
I say we go away.
Yeah, I'm up with that.
Gentlemen from Oak Harbors, tell you if they're still meeting in the yacht club?
No, he didn't tell me where they're meeting. Maybe that's because he didn't want me to come to the meeting. I don't know. No, I don't know if they are or not.
All right. Well, I'm happy it's Friday and be around some great people and can't wait for the auction, so that's the best part, right? Auction.
Are you gonna bring duct tape, bananas?
Yeah, I am. Well, I'll be on a placard though, so it might be a day and a half.
You throw a few spots of paint at it.
Yeah, that would increase the value.
I haven't been here for a month, so I'm gonna take just a minute. I can't. First, I'll tell you the fun, then I'll tell you the serious, okay? Lynn and I go to Taiwan about once every 3 years. We spend 2 weeks. We see her family, we have fun, and we come back. We went this time because the threats of China are getting more serious. We're getting a little nervous about whether or not we're gonna be able to see family again, so we went for a whole month this time. And which meant a whole bunch of visiting with family that don't speak English, so it's a lot of fun for me. What was different about this trip was, we didn't book any hotels or anything. We just thought, look, let's just go. And we're gonna rent a car, which was also a first, driving in Taiwan with 8 million mopeds. That was interesting. So as soon as we left Taipei in the rental car, this typhoon, which was gonna miss the island, turned, and if you follow me on Facebook, you saw it. Every time I moved on the island, the damn thing follows. So we got hit by a category 3 hurricane, 110-mile-an-hour winds, 130-mile-an-hour gusts. And we're on a 1-lane road out in the jungle. Okay, so nobody else is out. People who live there are smart. They all stay home when there's a typhoon. We're out driving around through it. Had a great time, just a great time. I'm in creatives, going to Taiwan and taking pictures of temples and stuff is just a thrill for me. The serious side is, while we were there, China surrounded the island with warships again and sent 113 military aircraft into Taiwan airspace. President Xi has said they will retake the island by 2027. There are 3 reasons they're going to do this. One is 40% of the world's cargo flows through the Taiwan Strait. If China controls the Taiwan Strait, they're empowered beyond belief. 80% of the world's semiconductors and microprocessors come from Taiwan. If Taiwan falls to China, China now controls 80% of the world's semiconductors. That's 2.
Microchips, computer chip, car chips.
It's almost for sure. The third reason is, just a little quick history. China never controlled Taiwan. Richard Nixon, remember the saying, for those of you who are old enough, only Nixon could go to China? Nixon kind of threw Taiwan under the bus because he wanted a trade deal with China. And he got his trade deal. What they agreed on was Taiwan would just fall into this status quo. Okay, we're not going to change things. Well, that's kind of all changed now. The biggest thorn in the side of the Chinese CCCP is that Taiwan is a successful democracy where people are governing themselves. They're in control of their own destiny, and they don't need the government doing that for them. Well, that makes the Communist Party in China look bad. So it's another driving reason why China wants to take Taiwan. So what's going to happen is China is not going to attack Taiwan. That would be silly. Taiwan is so densely populated. Taipei is like 3 times the size of New York City. So the idea of an invasion is just silly. What they're going to do is they're going to blockade the island. They're going to cut off all things coming into the island. So then the question is going to be, are the Western allies going to run the blockade? And if they do, who's going to shoot first? That's China's strategy. And that's where we're headed. So it's just serious. We should all pay attention to it because it could be the first salvo in what would become a global conflict. So anyway, it was a great trip. It's good to be back.
We're all gonna die nuclear fire, but you know,
I have followed this very closely.
What's interesting is it's not so prevalent in the paper.
You know, what's more interesting to me is everybody I talk to and who I could talk to in Taiwan, they're not worried about it. Because the last time China made threats, Germany, Australia, and Japan sent warships into the strait to send a message to China. President Clinton sent the entire 7th Fleet into the Taiwan Strait back in his term. So the people of Taiwan are like, yeah, somebody else has got our back. We're not worried about it. I don't think they understand really what's going on, right?
And a shooting war there lasts about a week, maybe 2, because you just run out of stuff to throw at each other.
Well, we have heavily armed Taiwan. We sell them F-16 fighters. We sell them all kinds of military gear. We have troops in Taiwan as trainers and advisors.
Yeah.
Just really as a deterrent.
Do they have much of their own?
Yeah, and so here's the thing about Taiwan's military is here we have big military bases, JBLM, right? Go bomb JBLM and that's where the war happens. Taiwan has built all of their military bases into small military bases in very densely populated areas, next to hospitals, next to schools. So if China decides to start bombing Taiwan military bases, they're going to be blowing up hospitals, they're going to be blowing up schools. And how's that going to make China? It's a strategy, right? So it's unfortunately, it's kind of the same strategy that Boss uses. You know, we'll hide behind school children and they'll look at it. Yeah. So that's kind of Taiwan's strategy is if they're going to attack, we're going to make them look as bad as we can get.
There's some big cities. building structures and things like that?
Yeah, Taiwan's a huge, so Taipei starts at the north end of the country and runs down all the way, all the way down the west coast. 90% of people live on the western side of the island, and the eastern side of the island is all natural and it's beautiful, and Taiwan is dense jungle. Every square inch of the island is dense jungle unless a bulldozer has bulldozed it and built something. So you can be at Taipei 101 in central Taipei, and we go take a trail 3 blocks away, and immediately you're climbing up into dense jungle with monkeys and spiders this big.
Yeah, no, thank you.
It's not anybody who follows my
Don't
house.
mind it, spider.
One of the trails we went to take, there was a warning sign at the base of the trailhead that said, beware of wasps and poisonous snakes. And they got a cobra on the warning sign, so it's a jungle environment. for sure.
Brandon read an article around that was praising Taiwan and what they've done and structuring their health insurance system for their populace.
Well, I ran out of a prescription while I was there. My wife just walked into a pharmacy and said, hey, my husband's out of this, and they just gave it to her, so. That's cool.
All right, well, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, I missed last week's meeting and I'm just happy to hang out with this club. Brian?
I'm actually so happy for the weather. I started my truck remotely, which isn't what I'm happy about, but when I walked in, it was nice and chilly. And then when I got in, I sat in a heated seat that automatically comes on. The temperature is 39 or below. And I thought, this is so cool. I absolutely love this time of year because right now, back where I used to live, today will be about 98 with about 88% humidity. So this is awesome.
So you got your truck back.
Nice.
I still have it. I haven't even gone to the shop. I keep telling myself I'm going to, but my father-in-law has my Camaro, and that's gonna be interesting. All right, I gotta take it from him. He's not gonna be happy.
All right.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry, I had a meeting upstairs. I left my purse upstairs as well, so there's no money from Templeton, but I'm glad to be here, and I just wanted to share a quick kind of a praise for our students. Clearly, we've got 10,000 and they're rock and rolling every day and great things are happening. But our SACO, which is Student Advisory Council, we have about 12 students that advise the board. And we think about like, when you have the lived experience, you should be telling us, how does it feel? How are you experiencing the education system? And then what can we do better together? So that's that kind of co-authoring component. So during the superintendent search, this is before I knew you knew me. Our students had a lot of information about what they were looking for in a superintendent. So the search consultant, who happens to be on faculty at Western Washington University in the superintendent certification program, invited our SACO, our student leaders, to come and talk tonight to superintendent wannabes, those who will be leading our state.
Nice.
Isn't that cool? That will come from Lake Stephen. We are a leader in many in both categories, and just I'm really thankful to be here. And I would be remiss if I didn't remind everybody to vote. Indeed, on the ballot, the school bond, and I know that you know about it. It's last. It's the very last thing, and we saved the very best for last.
All right.
What are you doing tonight, Mary?
Well, thank you.
Oh, that's right, and I'm going to Big Brothers, Big Sisters, is that, yes? You are. Yes, I am. You're sitting at my table. I can hardly wait. Yeah, this is what I'm wearing. I've had it on since 5 this morning, so that's what you get. Perfect, okay. How many more?
All right. Well, thank you. Paul? But you got 10 minutes?
I do have 10 minutes.
Yeah, Paul's gonna fill our end of our meeting with a little bit about himself.
Oh, I was gonna do something valuable. I want to do the about myself one.
Oh, do something valuable then. I'll do whatever you want.
I will tell you a little bit about me just because it'll make context for the rest of the conversation. I own a financial advising firm. I don't look like one. I look like the guy at a conference who's in charge of the sound in the back. I don't look, or like I'm showing up to shoot your horses. I don't look like I'm a guy that's managing money. And as a part of that career, I've been doing it 27 years this year. I've written a couple of books. We have about it'll be 300 podcasts before the end of the year this year. And so lots of things that people, that we think people should learn about their money, that they don't learn about their money. And, no, and I don't know if anybody else in the room is a financial advisor, so I do not mean any particular offense to anybody. But most of the financial services industry teaches advisors how to sell product, not how to educate and coach a client on the money. So the psychology they learn is all sales-based psychology. And it really comes out of the 1960s. A guy named Tom Wolfe was a major industry consultant and created something called needs-based planning, which of course you know from the insurance side, but it was needs-based retirement planning, needs-based insurance planning. And it was meant to say like, well, you need this insurance, therefore you must buy it because your family's just going to be destitute. And it crafted an entire industry into being sales-based instead of advisory-based. So what I think could be of help or value that will be true, fair to all concerned, build goodwill and better friendships and be beneficial to all, be some base financial principles we find clients show up and have no exposure to. So when we work with clients, we're a little different. Our first meeting is like, here's how we think about the world. We do not ask you any questions because we think everybody needs to hear some of how we think about the world so that they can make better financial decisions going forward. I mean, give you some glimpse of that tonight. But in that process, clients have to apply to become a client of our firm. We charge a fee up front. I start at $7,000. Why that's important is we want to make sure we bring enough value that people get 2x their feedback if they work with us, or we do not make them an offer to work together. During the application, my reason for sharing all that, we have a question. Do you know how much capital at work it will take for you to be financially independent? Now, to give you a sense, most of our clients make between $200,000 to $2.5 million a year as a household. We don't work with rich people, we work with Henry. High earner, not rich yet. Now, for all of those people that we have fill out this application, what percentage would you guess? Somebody shouted out, what percentage do you think have a capital at work number? 5% is exactly right. And of the 5% that do have the answer, it's from one of our podcasts. They always give the same number. It's only like 1 in 200 that have a thoughtful number they've written down. Now, why that's so important and why I bring your attention to it is think about we all went to college or whatever and started our career. From the very beginning of your career, you thought to yourself, I'm going to retire one day. We all had that thought. And yet almost none of the American population knows how much it will take to get there. Now, by the way, I'm saying they might have a number and it's wrong. They don't even have that. You guys don't have that. Statistically speaking, in this room, you don't have that. So I'm going to tell you how to do the calculation. Has anybody ever heard of the 4% rule? Anybody? See a couple heads nod. So the 4% rule means that when you're taking distributions in your old age for your income from any sort of investment, investments are not static, they're dynamic, they move up and down in value. You spent your entire career making deposits and withdrawals. But when you're taking money out of investments or retirement, you are not withdrawing, you're disinvesting. You are moving money out of an account that changes in value daily. Or if you own a real estate portfolio, you have vacancies. You have a roof that needs to be repaired, new water heaters, whatever has to happen. Which means even if you have a piece of property that gives you a 6% cap rate, meaning cash flow, you can't go spend 6. You can still only spend 4. In an investment portfolio, it goes up and down over time. And some well-meaning financial planner many years ago said, oh, from 22 to 65, and it goes like this, and the average is 8%. Now, the average was 8%, but it's not when you're taking money out. I'll give you a quick example. Think about the 2008 financial crisis and your portfolio was down 30%. And then you take out 8. Now it's down 38%. You see, those distributions accelerate the erosion of our capital and allow us to draw down money that you would think at 8%, it should last at least 12 years, 12 and a half to be exact, with no interest. But in fact, you can empty an account in less than 10 years because you're taking out too much for it to recover on the other side. Make sense? So the easy math is, if let's say you're making $200,000 a year now, It's gonna take $5 million to replace that. Now, there's two ways to do the math. Divide your income by 0.04, that'll give you the number, or multiply it by 25. And that is the amount of money you owe old you, who's not here yet. Now, the problem is, you guys ever, I mean, we've all been young and dumb. So you ever owe somebody money? And you're owing them money, and you know you're gonna run across them, and it just, or worse, you've lent somebody money, and you know you're gonna run across them and the awkwardness of that conversation. If we do that quick math, call it $5 million that your household needs to be able to replace your income in old age. Which, by the way, when I say old age, I just mean eventually people don't want to pay you anymore. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's very real. You know, I've seen it time and time again, some of the most brilliant people, and eventually their offer just peters out. It is inevitable. Or as I explained to one of my clients just the other day, planning for a retirement is something you can ignore for a super long time. It's sort of like if I was lined up against the edge of a canyon and it's a 400-foot drop behind me. And there's just like 100 dudes with shotguns surrounding me. And they're like, you can't leave. Well, we'll give you 40 years until we push you off this edge. Now there's a tightrope, an instructional video, and some of those fancy shoes to walk on the tightrope with. You got 40 years to figure it out. And what lots of people do is other stuff instead of figuring out how to walk the tightrope. And yet they get closer and closer every year. Everybody knows it, but we don't even have the number it takes to string the tightrope. So if you know your number is 5 million, then what you can do is subtract out your current capital at work. Home equity doesn't count unless it's in investment property. And you know, your investments, you know, 401k, IRA, or regular brokerage account, those all count. Subtract that right off. That is the net present value of your future retirement. And it's somebody you owe that money to. So if they $100,000 now, you owe future year 4.2 million you don't have. And you don't want to meet future year with your pockets turned inside out saying, sorry, you know why? You got to live with that sucker the rest of your life. The rest of your life. Like, I mean, I don't like being around somebody who owes me money for 15 minutes. So now that is confronting to think about, but the reality is I want to prepare people for the thing that they're going to have to deal with so they can prepare for it rather than put them in the position that they arrive there and they're like, I didn't know. And where this stems from is my godfather kind of ignored me getting into the financial business. I got in when I was 18. I was a rambunctious young man who was not afraid to talk in front of a group, and I should have been. At that time, I was terrible. I think I've improved. But he sat down with me as he got ready to retire. And he said, well, I got this, and I'm going to be able to take out 9% a year. And I just lowered my head. I remember the conference room I was in at the time. And I lowered my head and I said, Marshall, I can't. He said, what do you mean? And I had to roll out for him that his assumptions were wrong, that his certainty of doing it himself and handling it wasn't going to work. And his retirement didn't work out the way he hoped it would. There's nothing I could do for him at that time. So I'll make one last point because I think I'm out of time in about a minute and a half. Yep. The last point I make actually has to do with protection insurance. If you do not have a personal umbrella policy, and this is like an extra $1 million or more, it should be 10% more than your net worth. We don't do this type of insurance. This guy does. But we say you should have 10% more than your total net worth, not just capital worth, or 250% of your income. And I'm going to explain why. You get into a simple car accident. I think in this state, it's 25 years. They can garnish your income. Most states are like that. If you have insufficient liability on your car, home, or this umbrella policy. And the real problem is that attorney doesn't actually want to come after you for all your assets on the other side. They want to check. Well, our umbrella policy does two things. One, if I've got the insurance company on the hook for $2 million, do you think they send a new kid to defend my case? Heck no. But if I'm getting sued for $1 million and I don't have $100,000 of liability, I think they're gonna send the kid that just came out of school to represent me. I think they send the Yale team with $2 million on the line. That's one. Two, the plaintiff's attorney actually becomes your advocate. Because see, if they try to penetrate through the umbrella and come after you, it's years and years of letters trying to take property, et cetera, from you and your family. But with that insurance company, they'll just split a check right to the attorney, to the person, and they walk away and they're out of your life forever. And it is one of the things we've talked about, the future and everything you need to build. Getting a simple umbrella policy on top of your car and homeowner's insurance is the biggest thing that can be a barrier to your wealth building because it sets you back and takes away years of your work. We've had 4 clients sued after we have recommended they fix this. And I'm talking within 6 months of having met us. It's a very real risk. Super encourage everybody to do that. Thank you for your time. I hope it met the 4-test rule. And lucky for you, we didn't wait till my coffee's cold because I'm drinking in the Yeti.
To Mary. Does, in the high school, do the kids get any kind of financial, education?
They do. It's embedded in numerous of our courses. Our career and technical education courses have a lot of the financial literacy embedded. And then as the superintendent, I'm eager to do outside activities where they can actually see how money flows, what it means, and how to manage it professionally and successfully. So yeah, on it.
One of the courses even takes the kids, a few years ago, I don't know if they're doing it again, but down to a junior achievement facility in Auburn, where it's kind of a culminating day for them and they get to be in a career and spend money at a store and buy insurance, a car and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely.
I don't think I even learned how to write sign a check when I was in high school. They just didn't teach that kind of stuff back then. It's like, here's your diploma. Good luck. So, all right, anything else for the good of the order? Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Yep. You got something? Oh,
Vote.
vote. We got someone in the back that says vote. Yeah. Wow, thank you, everybody. Bye, onliners. Have a good week.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Take care, Dave.
Have a good weekend. Aloha.